I've been preoccupied with the Canadian general election, and it's taken me off track somewhat. Although it's important to note that those antediluvian Philistines, the extreme right-wing government that has harassed us for more than a decade, was defeated, and a centrist party took its place. So things will be better. But because of the preoccupation, I didn't spend as much time thinking about this commentary as I should, and therefore allow me a faint detour in this instance. Bear with me. I want to refer to a very public conversation I had last week with Professor Alan Whiteside under the auspices of Ryerson University here in Toronto. Alan Whiteside, as you may know, is sort of the dean of HIV and AIDS. He wrote the definitive text, AIDS in the 21st Century, headed a research institute in South Africa for 15 years, and has happily landed in Canada as a professor. And we chatted about the landscape of HIV and AIDS before an audience and made, I think, three fairly interesting observations. The first related to funding. The fact of the matter is that the international funding is stagnating, is drying up. And more people are going into treatment, so more and more funding is required. But the very poor countries don't have the compensatory capacity to make up the difference. And as a result, we're in a real financial crunch. On top of that, the World Health Organization, admirably enough, finally came out with new guidelines which say that everyone, the moment they test HIV positive, should go into treatment. Obviously, that adds millions more, a real financial dilemma. Second, I was saying to Alan that the pandemic is overwhelming in its disproportionate numbers of women and girls, and that it is effectively a women's pandemic. And I was pointing out that in the age range 15 to 19, literally the adolescent girls thereby encompassed show a death rate higher than any other age category. And Alan said that he had a survey which said that girls in the age range 15 to 19 actually had an infection rate 8 times that of boys in that age group. And I said to Alan, how is that possible? What accounts for it? And he said, without missing a beat, sexual violence and rape. And I thought to myself, exactly. Child marriage, sugar daddies, older men raping younger women, gang rape, all of it leading to the transmission of the virus. And then, on top of it, we thought to ourselves, the third and final point, well, one shouldn't be too negative. There are some reasons for optimism. A lot more people are going into treatment. It's still incremental. It's still painful. It's still a struggle of life and death at the grassroots, at community-based organizations. But we're making some progress. So I said to Alan, does he embrace the idea, which is largely espoused by the United Nations agencies and other international organizations, that we will be at the end of AIDS 2030? And he looked at me somewhat skeptically and said, Stephen, there are going to be very large numbers of people who are HIV positive and on treatment, and there are going to be large numbers of people with AIDS and on treatment. We're dealing with millions of people who still be part of the pandemic in 2030. It's not over. It will go on for many, many years afterwards. And I thought to myself, that's exactly right. You can't say the end of AIDS in 2030. We will be haunted by this virus for generations. So these easy, gratuitous phrases should be discarded and reality set in. That was last week. I'm Stephen Lewis.